Well, first, if I can first go to the visit to China, and then I have some additional announcements about ambassadorial and High Commission postings. First, on today's visit to China, I certainly welcome the opportunity to continue dialogue. As the Prime Minister said, we've been working very carefully, methodically and patiently towards stabilising the relationship between our two countries. As I've said in the past, this will take time, but I do see this visit as another step in the road. The visit will see us hold the 6th Australia-China Foreign and Strategic Dialogue, a dialogue which was last held in 2018, and obviously builds on the recent very constructive meetings that the Prime Minister had with President Xi in Bali on the sidelines of the G20 summit. The Prime Minister has made clear we seek a stable relationship with China. We'll cooperate where we can, we will disagree where we must, and we will engage in our national interest. There's been a lot of speculation in the last 24 hours or more about what will happen. Well, I will say this, the expectation should be is that we will have a meeting and that dialogue itself is central to stabilising the relationship. Many of the hard issues in the relationship will take time to resolve in our interests. Speculation about outcomes obviously has implications for leverage, and I'm certainly not interested in giving any country leverage other than Australia. In relation to consular cases, to save you asking the question, obviously I will be raising consular cases as I always do, just as I will continue to advocate for the trade impediments to be lifted, because we do believe, as I've said publicly and the Prime Minister has said, it's in both countries' interest to do so. And I do want to say this, I want to emphasise that Australian business has done an outstanding job in diversifying its markets, and it's always going to be in our interest to continue to prioritise that diversification. In relation to announcements, those mentioned by the Prime Minister are just some of the talented people we are appointing to roles around the world. First, we are delivering on our commitment to appoint an ambassador for human rights to restore Australia's leadership on human rights around the world. And Ms Bronte Mauls, a senior career officer with the Department for Foreign Affairs and Trade, has been appointed Australia's inaugural ambassador for human rights. Ms Stephanie Copus-Campbell has been appointed Australia's ambassador for gender equality. She will deepen Australia's international engagement on gender equality with her expertise in community development, gender equality and health. We are also announcing the appointment of career diplomats to lead Australian posts. Ms Sophie Davies is appointed Australia's ambassador to Brazil. Dr Ralph King is appointed Australia's ambassador to Israel. Ms Sonia Kopp is appointed Australia's High Commissioner to Trinidad and Tobago. Ms Manoli Pereira is appointed Australia's ambassador to Zimbabwe. Mr Richard Rogers is appointed as Australia's ambassador to Croatia, and Ms Phoebe Smith is appointed as Australia's High Commissioner to the Cook Islands. Can I thank, on behalf of the government and the Australian people, the outgoing ambassadors, high commissioners and consuls general for their contributions to advancing Australia's interests in these last years.